Perhaps one of the most heartbreaking moments came during the Oprah interview, when Meghan revealed that there were concerns within the royal family about how dark Archie's skin would be. The moment the words left her lips, it sent shockwaves across the globe. Who said it? What was the context? Was the royal family racist? The palace responded with a short, carefully worded statement. Recollections may vary, but the damage to the institution's image was already irreversible. Millions around the world saw the monarchy not as a symbol of unity, but as a relic of colonial thinking, still struggling with diversity, empathy, and inclusion. Even after moving to California, Meghan couldn't escape the narrative traps. She was mocked for her Spotify deal, accused of copying others, ridiculed for her lifestyle, her wardrobe, even her podcasts. When her partnership with Spotify ended, critics called her a failure, completely ignoring the record-breaking debut of her show Archetypes, which topped charts in over 40 countries. Meghan was never allowed to just be. She had to either succeed flawlessly or fail spectacularly. There was no in-between. Yet through it all, she remained defiant. She returned to the public eye slowly but strategically. A new Netflix docuseries, a memoir from Harry, quiet philanthropic work, new business ventures, all curated with intention, with boundaries. This wasn't the same Meghan who walked into the royal family wide-eyed and hopeful. This was a woman who had seen the worst of global media and lived to tell the tale. Harry, too, has transformed, and maybe that's what makes their story so magnetic. It's not just about royalty or scandal, it's about survival. It's about the people trying to define their own path in a world that tried to write their story for them. A world that scrutinized every move, weaponized every gesture, and made profit off every lie. So, what's the takeaway? If Meghan Markle's journey has taught us anything, it's that public opinion is fragile, easily manipulated, and often cruel. That even in the age of information, truth is harder to find than ever, and that behind every headline, whether it's about a baby bump, a royal feud, or a podcast, there's a real person absorbing the weight of 1,000 assumptions. Love her or loathe her, Meghan Markle is not a character in someone else's drama. She is not just the Duchess, the Hollywood star, or the villain tabloids want her to be. She's a woman who dared to step into one of the most scrutinized families on earth, and when it broke her, she didn't vanish. So the next time a conspiracy crosses your feed, before you click, before you comment, before you judge, ask yourself this: what if it were you? What if the whole world thought they knew your truth, but they only knew the rumors? Would you have the courage to keep going, because Meghan did? And that, no matter how the story is spun, is undeniable.
Meghan was criticized for touching her baby bump too often. Critics called it performative. Tabloids ran entire articles judging the frequency of her hand placement. The same action that was seen as loving and maternal when Kate Middleton did it was twisted into something sinister when Meghan did. The double standard was impossible to ignore. And Harry did more than notice it, he was enraged by it. Behind closed doors, Harry watched his wife crumble under pressure. Meghan faced a barrage of criticism daily, much of it racially charged and deeply personal. From commentary about her diva behavior to fabricated stories about fights with palace staff, the smear campaign seemed endless. And when the couple tried to get help internally, when Meghan admitted to feeling suicidal while pregnant, no help came. The institution, as they later revealed in their interview with Oprah, was more concerned with how things looked than how they felt. And that's when Harry made his decision to leave. Not just the palace, not just the royal duties, but the entire structure. He gave up his military titles, his public funding, and the world he'd known since birth, for Meghan, for their children, for their peace. But walking away didn't mean the rumors would stop. Another major controversy erupted around the birth certificate of their son, Archie. In 2019, tabloids pounced on the discovery that Meghan's name was removed from the document. The British press spun it as evidence of Meghan snubbing the royal system. In truth, it was a clerical decision made by the palace, not Meghan, and certainly not a protest, but the damage had been done. Social media had already latched onto the narrative, and the lies spread faster than the truth ever could. Then came the questions around Lilibet's name. Some said the Sussexes were hypocrites for naming their daughter after the Queen after everything they'd said about the family. Others accused them of using the name as a PR move. But what many forgot was this: Harry still deeply respected his grandmother. Despite everything, he saw her as a figure of stability and warmth. Naming his daughter Lilibet wasn't an insult, it was a tribute. But logic rarely wins in a world ruled by scandal.